What's happening, people? You're listening to Music and Motivation with Chris Davis. It's episode 138, man, and it's Wednesday, September 15th. I hope you're having a great day. We're going to kick this sucker off with Cruisin' Master Track. Tight. Hope y'all doing wonderful. Oh, super chill. Maxin' relaxin'. What's happening, people? We'll fade out there. As you can see, if you're watching on our video, I got a special guest with me today. It's my favorite comedian, Ty Young.
What's up? Hello. How's it going?
Yeah.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. You want to tell these people where you just came from?
Yeah. Just got back to the States from the United Arab Emirates, the UAE. I was in Abu Dhabi for 5 long, hot weeks. It was like, all right, so everybody says Florida is the hottest place in the United States.
Yeah.
Well, I would say the UAE is the hottest place in the world with the same humidity. Like,
Oh my God, it's like Death Valley,
oh yeah, it's Death Valley with
but
humidity.
100% humidity. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
God.
the worst, and it's a desert country. Don't get me wrong, but it's like you're right by the ocean. So every single time, if you step outside wearing glasses, all of a sudden you gotta invest in windshield wipers for them. You know, it's the only way to get around safely. I've hit so many guard posts everywhere, like the little barriers. I just walk into them because my glasses are all foggy.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was bad.
Can you turn number 2 up to like 3 o'clock as well? Dope. We also got Dr. Evil sitting in with us today.
What's up? What's up?
Shout out to Dr. Evil for being here. Normally she's our producer for Comedy by Coincidence, and this is my fellow Comedy by
Hello.
Coincidence co-host. In case y'all live under a rock, we have a second podcast called Comedy by Coincidence, and that's where all the raunchy stuff comes out. But I really want to actually like interview Ty, and me and him go back forever, dude. I met him back in college. We both went to UCM. He was a theater major, and I was a music major, and I did not get along with most of the other music majors. It's just how it is. Guitarists, you know? But, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You always had a welcoming, you always had, like, a hug ready and told me to come over and get out of the dorms, you know? Hey, my house is your house, bro.
Exactly. Like, if I consider you a friend, you are welcome. Once You know,
You've been
then your
vetted,
actions
yeah.
are on you. You
Yeah.
know, wherever it goes, it's on you. Respect my place and respect me, then you're more than welcome to come over anytime.
You're an Eagle Scout too, though, right? It's
Yeah.
easy. Like when Eagle Scouts get together, they all got those like 11 points that they live by, right? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought I almost could recite it the other day. The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, friendly, courteous, brave, courteous, clean. Oh man, something like that.
A
Respectful,
Scout is
clean,
trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind,
obedient,
cheerful, thrifty,
and
brave,
brave.
clean, and reverent.
Yeah. Good job, dude. Hey.
I don't follow all of those
Yeah,
all the time anymore.
I mean, it's a good It's good guidelines.
Yeah, it's good guidelines. A couple of
guides you the right way, but you know what I mean.
Reverend kind of fell to the side a bit. If we're gonna be honest,
yeah,
you know,
you can't go listen to Comedy by Coincidence and be like, they're irreverent.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Reverent, but it's okay. I mean, and when you go follow the Dead on tour for a season, you definitely don't smell clean.
Exactly.
So, yeah, dude. But I've known Ty for about 6, 7, 8 years at this point. It's been a while.
Something like that, yeah.
Because I met you my freshman year there, and I was there 5 years, and we're like 2 years, 2.5 years out of there. So
yeah. Let me see here.
My freshman year,
2014.
you were a junior, and
yeah, 2014. That's when we met. So 7 years. And then actually, was it you that I actually took the college tour with beforehand, or was that Cody?
No, that was Cody. And that's how you guys met.
Yeah.
And I met you and so many other people at the Smoking Tree, which was the only place you were allowed to smoke cigarettes on campus. And I remember when we toured there with my parents, the entire campus was smoking friendly, and people would like crowd together in front of the doors, and it looked cool, man. The whole place was retro. Like all the buildings are like 70s style, because that was the last time they renovated everything. Aside from the Union was cool. I always liked that place.
It had the certain charm where you felt like you were either gonna get a Animal House college experience, or you were gonna
find
be
your people. If
yeah,
you
were
were a
gonna
smoker, you would find your people.
exactly.
Which
was
is rare these days. It's, nobody. It's
it was
nobody's smoke friendly.
It was a 1970s movie college appearance where it was just like if there was a group of people, you can find them.
And then literally the semester my semester that
it changed
everything, and it
completely
all changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Exactly,
So
gave us little ashtray, Altoid can recyclable
cool.
things.
I still got mine. That was actually kind of neat.
I used the hell out of it. It was an interesting change in the culture there. It was like
But let's get back to talking about you, man. So, what'd you go to college for?
I went to college for technical theater, so the backstage stuff, building sets.
Yeah.
Anything but painting, really. I'm a garbage painter. If you get to know me,
he's good with a spray paint can.
I can rock a spray paint can on occasion. Not art, just letters. They will not be the same size. And then it was like, I can paint black. If you got a solid color, I got you. In the darker categories, I can't do light colors. Give me 2 shades of white, I'm gonna look at you like you're stupid. I'm sorry. I just don't see the. When I say I don't see color, I'm being literal there. I don't see the different shades. Like, please don't hurt me.
So, you've come to St. Louis a few times with a traveling theater company. What are you doing there, man? We won't shout them out.
It's an arena spectacular, I would say. It's a total bring your kids and you'll see a show type of show. And the company actually goes to 6 different continents, except for Antarctica for logical reasons. And then I've so far, ever since coming back to Abu Dhabi and having the realization that that is technically Asia, I've officially hit all the continents. A little sad about it because I'm not going to lie. I wanted to go to Asia. I wanted the full, the Middle East is a different creature from Thailand and China. Like, I wanted to go all in. Let's look at nothing English for 5 weeks. And Abu Dhabi is not, they have so many extra people, expats that move there for work and everything, that everything's in Arabic and English. So it's easy to get around. It's not hard to get. You're gonna say "al" a lot. I mean, that's I don't know. I don't know what it stands for, but it seems like it's in front of every word there. That maybe it's the, but it's you're just gonna get English everything. It's pretty easy to move around.
Fair enough. So what really inspires me about you is outside of all this, you've been doing this theater stuff. That's what we went to college for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stage hand and making stage sets and stuff like you like. Cause man, you're good with your hands, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's good at making projects and woodworking. And
I mean,
the best desk I ever had came from Ty Young. So.
Mm-hmm. That was a good, solid desk.
I love that desk. My dad made me get rid of it.
It's not family approved stuff because it's pieces of plywood and 2x4. Yeah.
The right size, perfect for a corner.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of this, which you thought was your dream job, you found something else as like a hobby that most people would never even try in their lives, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? People want to, but people are afraid of crowds and this and that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Got into comedy, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. What made you get into comedy?
I've always been more vocal with I'm going to go be a roadie dream. That came about in high school, so that's what I went to college for. And then I achieved that dream. And then, like everybody else, the world shut down, so I could no longer... Like, I really just wanted to travel. I wanted to see the world and experience things. And I'd rather wreck my body doing that when I'm younger than being in a factory or something that, basically I would get in Iowa. I didn't really want that. So when everything shut down with the pandemic, I couldn't travel anymore. It was like, well, at least I can go just talk, go out, find an open mic, and then just talk about funny crap that happened on the road. Some of it salacious, some of it raunchy, and some of it's clean. I do occasionally throw out a clean set with a minor instances of cussing because I am who I am. So I just started going out and doing that, and I started in Seattle, Washington. I ended up back at my parents' place. So out in Seattle, all the clubs, everything was closed down. But one guy, John Banning, shout out John Banning, he started an open mic at a park. And then whenever the park kind of closed for the winter and things were really getting bad with the situations out there, he moved it to like a dry cleaner's alleyway. And that's where I stepped in. That was around December. That's when I started, December of last year. So
doing comedy at the dry cleaners.
Exactly. And then from there, we found out an Italian restaurant was closed on Mondays, so we took their outdoor patio section. I imagine eventually somebody asked for permission, but I never got a straight answer, and I don't think anybody really cares. It's the best you can find outdoors there, and with the current situation, it seems like outdoor might be the best spot.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not opposed to it. And then like those drive-in shows, those
Exactly, you know.
It also repurposes those old drive-in theaters, so
Mm-hmm.
keep them around. But
In a weird way, I hope they can continue, but I don't see live shows happening there. Maybe like I think a really cool rock show
yeah, that'd be
at a drive-in would be awesome in the future. But I don't see comedy continuing at the drive-in for much longer. It's just you need a more intimate space.
Yeah. Yeah. It was what it was, and it got us through. But
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah, I started comedy, and then it was like I need to finish. I haven't answered your question, and fully I went on a side journey, and we're eventually getting there.
Us about the
Yeah.
journey, and I'm all about it, bro.
So and then I got my old job back, so I'm back doing those family-friendly spectacular shows, spectacles. And now it's like wherever I go, I try and find an open mic. Unfortunately, Abu Dhabi doesn't have open mics
I don't know if
at
I'd
this.
even want to go.
They're
Like, I could
way
say
more.
the wrong thing, and you'd be like,
They had an app, and if you weren't like green on the app, which I went in before they started it, so I was gray the entire time, so I was limited to the hotel complex area. Basically, I couldn't go out to open mics even if I wanted to.
gotcha.
So just a different ball game over there, you know. So with the exception of Abu Dhabi, like I've been to open mics in Little Rock. Now I'm gonna be in an open mic here in St. Louis, which is awesome. I do.
Yeah, tonight, if you guys are listening to this Wednesday, feel free to come hang with us at the Helium Comedy Club, because Ty will be hitting the open mic up there, and
it will be my first open mic here in St. Louis, which will be awesome.
Helium's a big club. I'm excited.
Exactly, it's the first time I'm going to be in a big club that regularly brings in national headline acts. That's really exciting. I perform at a smaller comedy club more frequently whenever I'm in Florida. I go there twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays. It's the Spitfire Comedy Theater House. Shout out them.
Yeah.
And they have a fantastic open mic and everything there. I always good and bad days. Sometimes I just take a pleasurable set where I disgust everybody, and that's hilarious to me. You know, you just gotta. Some days you just gotta take one for yourself. You know.
Yeah. Totally.
But
no, dude, that's
yeah.
inspiring, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool that you're catching the open mics at all the cities that you go to, because that's one way to get a name.
Exactly.
And also to practice, because those cities that you're not from, that you don't know anybody, what do you care if you have a bad set? You know what I mean?
Exactly. To me, if you're a new guy on the scene, like some comics will walk away because they're not expecting much. You might just be new. Other comics will give you a hear. So you're always encountering a new crowd whenever you go to a new spot. Yeah. And I was just fortunate enough to find a company that's willing to pay me to travel. You know, so I've essentially, in a weird way, hit the road as a starting comic, but
on your own means,
yeah, on my own means and everything like that. It's just open mic after open mic. Maybe I think it will develop me better if I can get different crowds to laugh everywhere rather than just the same crowd every single time. You know.
Exactly. People who have never seen you before, aren't used to you, aren't guaranteed laugh. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, coffee time.
No, this is for those of you that are familiar with the show, this is early in the morning, and I'm not used to communicating this early. And I came back into the country 2 days ago, so jet lag is it's a real monster right now.
And that's okay, because we out here doing it anyways, bro.
Exactly.
One thing I really want to know is, I mean, this is the music and motivation podcast, right? So we out here trying to motivate our listeners and try to find ways for them to succeed as well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that drives you to keep doing the comedy?
It's a combination of several things. One, comedy is something that I'm really enjoying, so it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Which is
It's big.
It's the huge motivating factor. If you view something as a chore, like going out and going to a show, then is it a confidence issue where you think you need to practice more, or you got to look in a little deeper? For me, I've never had trouble wanting to go to a show. For me, the monster is sitting down and writing out my ideas instead of just ranting on stage.
Yeah.
For me, it's the preparation, and for that, it's always. I think back to when I've utterly and truly bombed. It's because I absolutely wrote nothing.
Yeah.
Beforehand. So there was no prep work. There was no nothing, and that was more embarrassing to me than anything. So it's the not wanting
drive to get better too.
Yeah.
Do better than last time.
Exactly.
On
It's
top of just the fact that it makes you happy, which is a huge.
Mm-hmm. It's now going to work sometimes. That for me the motivating factor is you got to protect your wallet in order to keep doing the thing you want to do.
Exactly.
There's no way to pay for gas to do comedy if I don't have the funds to do so.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And for me, the big thing with work is finding something that I enjoy as well. And that's kind of like, I wouldn't say my job right now is exactly what I want to do forever, but it's something I still really enjoy and I think is on the right path to doing what I want to do.
Exactly.
So, good,
Yeah, it's
in life, you got to think about what you enjoy and what's going to make you happy during this life, and you got to find ways to do it.
Now, let's just say you're not trying to be a full-time professional musician. Let's say you're just doing it for a hobby. Yeah. At that point, a lot of people recommend 5-10 minutes a day practice. 20 to 30 minutes a day if you're just doing it for a hobby. That's at that point you just figure it, all right, what's 20 to 30 minutes.
20 to 30 minutes 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay.
Is what I really recommend.
All right.
Because every day that's a little much. You can't really expect. That's pretty strict regimen, right? That's like those.
So I always if it's something where maybe you just need to schedule it out. Like if you exercise, why don't you do music rehearsal right after the exercise? It's a way to cool down or to exercise your brain a bit, Like
bro, I squat 400 and then I sit down and play flamenco guitar to cool it all off. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Some brain. That'd be awesome.
Maybe in the morning you wake up a little earlier or go to bed earlier, and the first thing you do is music practice. Build it into your schedule.
Let's hop off the music stuff for just a second. I want to keep talking about you because I think we do this segment that's called Tips for Musicians, and I think everything that you're vibing with right now, we'll come back to it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
I'm all about it. But let's see. What else did I want to know? Look, man, you inspire me, and I hope you're inspiring our listeners to just go out there and find what you love and find ways to do it. You know what I mean? Now, what kind of goals do you set for yourself when you're going about these open mics? Do you ever set you ever think about it in terms of goals?
Yeah, I do. It's
personally, I'm seeing one that's happening tonight. Reminder where he's going to be at Helium Comedy Club in St. Louis tonight at 7 or 8. You know what I mean? We'll both be up there. You can catch us. Hang out, say hi if you see this shit.
Exactly.
But
come on out.
You're playing a bigger venue, bro.
Yeah.
You might be playing the biggest stage you've been on. You went from the dry cleaners
Mm-hmm.
We doing Helium Comedy Club tonight, dude.
Exactly.
That's a goal you know.
It's
What's
for me. I'm weird. I don't have normal like arena size goals or something.
Yeah.
Uh,
I have tiny ones.
yeah. I focus on the crowd. It's like, okay, this guy hasn't laughed yet, so I'm gonna get him. You know, it's okay. I feel like making everybody feel absolutely gross and slimy at the club, and attempt to not walk them and attempt to dig myself out of that hole kind of night, you know. And then it's most of the time that bombs. Every now and then I get a little something there at the end, and that's what I wanted, you know. It's when I started comedy, I thought about what's the ultimate, like, what would I consider the highest achievement in my career, and that's one day making somebody laugh so hard that they pee their pants. I think that is, it's a little bit gross, maybe a little bit malicious, but I think that's the funniest, most malicious thing you could ever want for a crowd.
Some comedians would be like, I want to be on this podcast, I want to be on JRE, I want to, and you're like, I want to watch somebody pee their pants because of me.
Exactly.
That's
you
tremendous.
know,
You're a real comic.
If you end up on those shows, cool. But I don't think that can be your ultimate dream goal. It has to be something
what
that.
What do you do after that?
Exactly. It's in my head. It has to be something that is slightly twisted that you would never admit, but yet I have the weird nut that's missing in my head that will let me say it.
Tremendous. Anything you'd like to promote on our podcast?
Just the Comedy by Coincidence podcast.
Oh man, that's a great podcast.
Yeah, it's
just like this, but if we were like making you pee your pants right now. So
yeah.
That's pretty good.
And then, I mean, the rest are just check out all comedy podcasts. There's a lot out there.
Yeah.
You know.
Support comedy. Support your.
Just support comedy. Get out there. I know a lot of clubs have various requirements and various shows. You know.
Yeah.
It's still like.
Still worth it.
Still worth it. You know, it's. I don't.
Nobody likes what's going on, but we're all getting through this together, man.
Yeah, and it's
important to remember to have respect for each other.
Respect for each other. Make your own personal decisions, but try and support the local arts. A lot of comedians have Patreons.
Music scene,
you know,
comedians.
Exactly. There's many ways to support.
Some comedians got OnlyFans.
Yep, that's also true. Yeah.
Check out Ty Young's OnlyFans and.
No.
No.
Mom, my mother will be listening to this, and Mom, it's not true.
It's not true.
Not true.
Okay. Well, Ty, thanks for being on here, man. You want to do a couple of tips for people real quick? Do like the normal segments real quick?
Yeah, we can run through those.
Okay. We got tips for surviving the week. Tip number 1 for surviving the week: get the right amount of sleep. Me and Ty and a whole lot of other people have been dealing with this all week. Just not getting the right amount of sleep, dude. And that can throw your whole mojo off, dude.
Exactly. It's oof. Like when I came in to
say.
St. Louis yesterday, I was a walking zombie, and Chris knew it immediately. Like it was. I was so tired.
I was too. I crashed out by 10. But it's hard. It's really hard, especially if you're an insomniac, man. I wish I had some good sponsors to shout out to tell y'all. But for real. Take sleep seriously. You know what I mean? You got any tips for surviving the week?
The tip is I had put in my calendar, to sign up for the Helium Comedy Club in the hopes of getting a spot. I did. But I also put in my calendar 2 other comedy clubs I forgot to sign up for it because it was the middle of my travel day. You know, so it's like you got to organize your time, but you also got to pay attention to your time.
Yeah.
It's
you
not
pay attention
that's
to that schedule as well. It's one thing to schedule it. It's another thing to not look at your calendar.
exactly. So my tip is organize and attentively organize your time.
Yeah.
You know.
Normally, I only work at a week at a time, but I've found because of similar things,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be able to think about some things in the long term as well. So I actually had to get a full calendar to put like important, like you come into town,
Yeah.
just to make sure that I had some time off and was able to do some stuff. You know what I mean?
And for those of you that don't will maybe never see this calendar, I want to say that my name is in blue, which is my favorite color. So he's also not only a great host, but he's thoughtful, and that's what matters.
That's what matters. You really are colorblind because that shit is straight green, dude.
Oh shit! I don't.
No,
Yeah,
That's okay. That's okay.
my eyes don't work.
No, it's okay. That is proof for y'all, dude.
You'll hear about that tonight, most likely, if you
Shit.
come out to the comedy club.
Tip number 3 for surviving the week is check up on those friends, man. Take care of them. It's important. And, you know, Facebook and social media only does so good at letting you know what's going on with your homies. Because if you got homies like me, you don't post what's going on in your life. You know what I mean? If something really bad is going on, I ain't putting that on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to know that.
I mean,
So
if
check in on them because you never know, and it might just make somebody's week.
mm,
It might just save a homie. You know what I mean?
exactly,
So
I
check in. You never know what's going on.
it's like a lot of old friends of mine should still have my phone number. I still have their phone number. You know, I'm always hoping for a call. I'll let you know what's going on at the moment and how long I got, but
Yeah.
you know, or at least I'll send you a text afterwards explaining like why I can't call you at the moment. Like I had a mutual friend of ours, Bryce, hit me up, and it's like, I can't talk to you, man.
I love Bryce. Bryce,
Yeah.
if you're watching this, by the way, we both love the shit out of you.
Absolutely.
You know, just because of his job, every time he'd call me, it was at like 12 p.m. or after.
Yeah.
And I can't pick that up. I'm asleep, dude.
Yeah.
I got my ringer off.
And for me, it was like, I can't talk to you, man. We're on the Facebook. If you accidentally click video and my fumbling buttons click video, I'm about to get into the shower. This is not a situation where I can, you know, I sent him a text afterwards and I was like, hey, I'm about to get in the shower. Give me like 30 minutes and I'll call you back. And she said, cool. And then we just haven't met times to talk yet, but we're working it out, you know.
He just wants to hang.
I really just brought this up to let Bryce know to call me back, man. You know,
We love you.
I ain't no stranger.
He's doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all for tips for surviving the week, gang. If you like these kind of segments, we're all here for it. Tips for musicians and music lovers. Tip number 1, keep practicing. 20 to 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. That's what we say, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we get on that exponential train to success. But it could be music. If you're trying to get better at comedy, you got to write for 20 to 30 minutes a week, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You got to commit yourself to either writing for 20 to 30 minutes or trying to find 20 to 30 minutes of stage time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like that for any skill. If we want to get better, we got to practice. So figure out a way to fit it in your schedule. Tip number 2 for musicians, go to a freaking concert. Just go. I went to my first in-person concert yesterday. I wasn't playing. Amazing. Tremendous. I got kettle corn and everything. It was like the best time. Dead and Company went well, by the way, everybody. I'll fill in more next time, maybe.
Sometimes humans are known to be tribal creatures, and we've been known to be a very social creature. You got to be around other people, you know.
Yeah.
If there's a will, there's a way. If you're willing to leave your house, there's a way to have a great time at a good concert, absorb some very much needed culture.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know how to. Yeah.
100% needed to get that atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Remember people are still like that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's important to get out. And
So, good time. Good time was had by all.
Mm-hmm.
Tip number 3. You got any tips for musicians?
Musicians.
Leave the sound guy alone. It's not his fault you sound like shit tonight. No, I'm playing.
I would say that, but hearing issues says
sometimes it is my fault.
sometimes it is my fault. That's why I'm not your sound guy.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Respect the equipment. Let's go with that one.
Respect your equipment. Take care of it.
If you need new strings, don't wait for forever. Because sometimes
take care of your fingers, guys.
Yeah, take care of your fingers. Take care of
No,
whatever. If your lungs are the thing of it, take care of your lungs. If it's your fingers, your hands, your feet, whatever you use to produce your music.
Careful with my hands, dude. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I've broken a thumb. No, I broke this arm and I broke this thumb, and it kept me from playing for like 6 months.
Yep.
Of my life, it sucked. During finals, terrible time. So
It's the worst.
take care of your hands, guys.
Mm-hmm. But don't let it stop you from following the previous tip of living your life. Let's be honest. I'm just saying.
Yeah. We love you guys. Ty, let's get to our albums of the week segment, man. What's your favorite album of all time, dude?
All right. Of all time, I got to give it to Tenacious D. They're a bit more of a raunchy group.
No, it's okay.
And I got to
Pick a Destiny.
It's a tie between Pick Up Destiny and their first album.
Yeah.
The one before Pick Up Destiny.
Might just be self-titled. I can't remember.
Yeah. Those two albums, they're
Tremendous.
they're a funny
comedy-wise. Yeah.
they're a more comedy group, but at the same time they're funny, coherent, great rock metal songs. They're good music, not always safe for work, so maybe you shouldn't play it on work speakers, but
Tremendous stuff anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Good one. That's a good. I don't think we've had any Tenacious D on the show yet. So that's awesome.
It's Jack Black before he was Jack Black. It's an awesome little scope of life.
Yeah. And then I'm going to throw one other one out there. Let's see. I want to do... trying to think. I did just go to a Dead & Company show, so I'm going to throw... I want to say Grateful Dead... Reckoning, which is their live 1980 acoustic album. So if you have listened to some electric sets by the Grateful Dead and weren't a super fan, but still trying, check out Grateful Dead Reckoning, which is from when they did Radio City Music Hall in 1980, and they went full acoustic for it, and it was tight. So check that shit out.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. Grateful Dead Reckoning. And that's it for today, man. Anything else you want to tell our listeners, buddy?
Nothing that might be too far for your listeners. So
I try to keep it a little clean.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it tame.
Stuff come out on Comedy by Coincidence.
Exactly. You got to choose your lane, choose your flavor on this one.
Any last tips for our viewers?
Share and recommend the shows.
Yeah, seriously.
That'd be
if you guys
awful
can
tight.
And enjoy this kind of content, please share the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We really appreciate it, and it does make a difference here.
Exactly.
It's the only people who'd be sharing it are us two.
And if you're my mother and you're embarrassed by this, you're more than welcome to just share it and be like, look at what my son did.
On private.
Exactly.
But Mad love and respect for your mother. She's awesome.
She is awesome. She was the previous Savage of the Week on
I
Comedy
keep
by
forgetting
Coincidence.
The Savage of the Week on this show. Savage of the Week this week is you, bro.
I'm the Savage of the Week.
Yeah, dude.
Well, those that do know me on a personal level will agree with you. I am a savage.
You are
so
a savage.
I am a savage.
As much as you travel and
my
the effort you
bloodline
put
does
into
have
comedy, it's pretty
exactly.
amazing.
My bloodline does have Neanderthal in it, so we're hitting all the qualities right here of describing me accurately.
Savage. Yeah. Tremendous. Mad love and respect, dude. As always, guys, you can find us at davismusicpro.com. Make sure you go check out our podcast, Comedy by Coincidence. And thank y'all for listening, man. I hope you guys have a tremendous rest of your week. I hope you guys write out some goals and get them crossed off. And, have a great week, man. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. You rock.
You too, my man. You too.
Oh, this is tremendous. 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 This is tremendous.